Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tech Supreme, and you're listening to Rent Free with Tech Supreme. This is episode 10. Welcome. It's a new week. It's a new day. Positivity over everything. And we have some new stories to talk about. Just some new things that I've been, wrangling in my mind. I've been consuming or whatever. And, just things off the top of the head. You know how this goes. There's nothing new. You already know what's going on. So, without further ado, let's get into the first topic. There was a slaying of a newlywed women at a campsite investigated. Okay, so here's the story. There was a campsite. This newlywed couple was literally just killed for existing. They had just got married a few months ago. Apparently, I think they were visiting campgrounds. I think they were living out of the van, which is an important detail for me. So they sent messages to their friends saying that there's this creepy guy that's kind of weirding them out. So let's just, we're going to move, but they would let some friends know. And the next thing you know, their bodies are found. This is absolute tragedy. And, my condolences go out to the families. But for me, in my head, it kind of, I think it's dangerous to live out of your vehicle if you don't have to. And I mean, obviously some people have to. It's horrible. But a new trend is that people are opting to do this lifestyle, right? Where they go take showers at the gym and, they live in the van life, I guess it's like to escape, like the money that's involved in living, with rent, or mortgage. So like they're just doing this like hipster nomadic life shit, but it's dangerous. It's super dangerous. And not saying like these women didn't do anything wrong whatsoever. 100% did nothing wrong. And I hope the hell they find this guy who did this. But like I always like in my mind, I feel like it's a little bit dangerous to put yourself in a confined space that's easily penetrable, for lack of a better word. So like, because I'm really big in active self-protection. I'm really big on like people carrying weapons, whether it's lethal or non-lethal. I just bought me and my wife Palm pepper spray because of this YouTube channel, Active Self-Protection. I've been watching his videos for years, John Correa, I think. And, he advocates having non-lethal spray on you as well. So we carry that now. I also do carry lethal, when I can. I don't do it as much in the summertime because my gun is way too big. So, like, it's hard to conceal it. But definitely, when I can layer up, I definitely have it on. But so like I'm really big on self-protection. I say that to say this. I'm really big on self-protection, and I always get a weird vibe from the people who live in their vehicles. And as far as like how do you self-protect that? So yeah, basically it's a tragedy, but I feel like the trend has to go away with people living in cars. I don't think it's safe. I was watching another TikTok video where this lady was she was saying how like, oh, this is the dangers of living, in your van is I didn't close all my curtains all the way, and in the middle of the night some guy's knocking on my camper or my whatever this is, and like it kind of creeps her out, and he did some like fucked up her windows or something like that. Did some weird shit to her side windows or whatever. But like it's that vulnerability that you have when you're in the middle of a fucking parking lot in the middle of the night. I think it's dangerous. Let me know what you guys think about the camp life, the I live in my van life. It ain't for me, but I mean, if it's for you, so be it. I just want people to be safe, and I don't feel like that's like the safest way to go about living, right? Like there's better ways, but I know I get it. Rent sucks. And yeah. So moving right along, the next topic is your kids. And them going back to school, which is awesome. So have them in school is great, and they get to learn and stuff. But the problem with going to school too soon is the fact that there is now a nice little pandemic still going on, or bringing fucking COVID home. Now in Missouri, article came out I think last week or 4 or 5 days ago that 1 in 5 COVID cases in St. Louis County is someone under the age of 18. Which I mean, kids. They're spreading it. we have a homie whose kid spread it to him. The Sabrina the Teenage Witch actress, her kid went to school, brought it back home, and they had been super careful. And, you know, up until that point. So a lot of people are letting their guard down with the school thing, and it's kind of crazy. The Delta, it says this, the Delta variant is different. Kids are catching and spreading COVID both within school and back to their families and to other people in their community at a rate we did not see last year. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot of mass spreading of COVID going forward with this Delta variant and the kids going back to school. And also since they're not vaccinated too, because like I think they just locked it down for like to 12 and older, you can get vaccinated. So like, it's gonna be a problem. I think, I don't know if they're gonna have to do some virtual. Some schools are already going back to virtual. So I think virtual is gonna be the way to go. Because I can't foresee a lockdown happening. I know people aren't gonna really accept the lockdown. I wouldn't mind a lockdown, but that's just me. I'm an introvert anyway. I work from home. But like, I understand that, you know, we're not going to go back to lockdown, but they're going to have to do something different. And I think virtual learning is the only way. I mean, people are fighting the mask mandates for schools. Like, just let them wear a mask. Like, that will help. It's not going to solve, but it will help. But people don't even want to do that. They say 47% of the county, St. Louis County, is vaccinated, which is awesome. It needs to be a lot higher. I wonder why. I just don't understand why we can't get to 50%. Like, we can't get over 50%. We can't get to the majority. I know there's too many people with their strong opinions. And even this week with the FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine, people are still kind of backtracking and peddling. Now, this is I'm going to talk about this later, but I like to comment on news articles in St. Louis a lot, right? That's kind of my thing, because I see a lot of racism in it, and I like to be the person who likes to want to be one of the people who fights it. So I say that to say this. There was a status about the FDA approval, and I made a comment because a lot of the comments were like, you know, whatever. They're still not taking the vaccine, and my comment was, and it got over 100 likes or whatever, because I thought it was hilarious. One day, you know, FDA approval, like, you need FDA approval to take the vaccine, and then when it happens, now you don't trust the FDA. It's kind of hilarious. It's true, but you know, they're going to find an excuse for something. They're just not going to take the vaccine. Nothing's going to make them do it unless death. Like, death will be the only thing. So yeah, those kids, man, keep your kids away from me. No offense, a lot of kids, but they get little hotbeds, man. It's like, I stopped going to the gym and built my own gym because I knew that my gym is a hotbed for bacteria of all kinds. And I know, because up until the pandemic, I was teaching at Most Holy Trinity that schools are grounds of germ spreading or whatever. I got sick a few times going to school, because that's just how it is. It's like, the kids are gross. They're gross. They're nasty. They're nasty little kids. You know, we were all kids. We all were nasty. We weren't hygienic. You know, we weren't washing hands. I was. But, so like, yeah, kids, this is going to be something that we have to, another thing that we have to kind of watch to see what happens and develops. And I think the best solution would be to do the masks and virtual learning. And honestly, maybe like, you have to be vaccinated to go to school. How's that? Is that such a bad thing? Like, you can't go to school with flu shots back in the day or whatever. Like, back in the day, you had to go get your shots before school. You couldn't go to school. So like, it gotta be the same shit. Gotta be. All right, moving on, because you know how we do. We like to get it done with a nice amount of time, so I'm not taking up too much of your afternoon or morning or evening or whatever. OnlyFans. Now, I have no idea what OnlyFans is. I'm joking, but I mean, I don't subscribe to OnlyFans. I don't. You know, it's not for me, right? But you know, more power to you. So I've been watching OnlyFans. I know who is that? Some girl made like $1 million. I think Bad Bobby. She made like $1 million in a day in OnlyFans. There was another girl who was like already popular, already famous, and did OnlyFans, and like everyone was like touting her as a pioneer. So I remember all these news stories. I know OnlyFans makes a lot of money. I know a lot of people make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year off of OnlyFans. I mean, some people are bringing in $5,000-$10,000 a month. That's insane money to show your bits. So like, they weren't hurting. In 2020, Their revenue was 375 million in 2021. We're not even done with the year. It's 1.2 billion. But for some reason, they can't find investors. So they decided that their best course of action in order to get investors was to get rid of all the adult content. Make no mistakes that they are not an adult content site specifically in nature, but it's been taken over by the adult entertainment industry. And they benefited from this greatly. Made a lot of money. I mean, merchandise, revenue, cash flow. Like, we're talking about the hundreds of millions projected for the billions. I mean, they already made $1 billion this year. Like, they made an insane amount of money. 300 creators earned $1 million annually. 16,000 creators make $50,000 annually. That's crazy. They make a lot of money. So, like, this decision is kind of, it's reminiscent of Tumblr, right? Because Tumblr was popping a couple years ago. Like, Tumblr was the site because Tumblr had porn. And people like porn and they like it when it's free. Now, OnlyFans isn't free, which is even more baffling that they would make this move. Tumblr, they weren't a porn site. They really had nothing to do with porn. And they were like, yo, we got to clean up our act. This is getting out of hand. No porn. I kind of understood it, though, because, like, that's like going to Pinterest for porn, right? Like, Tumblr's like a vlog type blogging site. And, like, so it wasn't really geared towards that. But OnlyFans really only had that. Like, when it was, I guess they were trying to be like a Patreon type competition, but they got rich and fucking filthy, disgusting, ugly rich from porn. So for them to turn their back on the porn industry is kind of insane. And it doesn't make much sense to me because they're not going to be successful after this. Like, people aren't going to go there and watch people cook. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not going to happen. You're not going to pay money unless you're a diehard fan of whoever creator is on there. Then you do it. But, like, people aren't going to flock there. So with the creators leaving, your money's going to leave. The content creators are gone. So is your content. So is your money. It says some investors say they could get past the point, but whether the company's reputation will prevent it from attracting brand partners. That's another part of the stigmatism of sex work in America. Like, you have this business that's booming, man. Like, it's a necessity. So, like, why do we shame it? Why do we put it down? Snapchat is huge in porn. Huge. Like, before OnlyFans, people were selling that Snapchat. And they're valued at $115 billion, and they have advertisements all over the place. So for them to say like they can't get advertisement, it seems really weird. It seems kind of corny. I think this is the death of OnlyFans as a company. I think it's the death of OnlyFans. Same way Tumblr is like not relevant anymore. Like, no one goes to Tumblr anymore. Like, whatever. Fuck a Tumblr. So, OnlyFans, you're going out. You're on your way out. And the next thing's gonna win. Like, so if the next thing can set up a good infrastructure, good servers, and make it fair for the opportunity to make it more fair for the content creators and not take so much money, they're gonna win. They're gonna definitely win. Moving on, Spider-Man released a trailer last night. We have been waiting for this. I forget how many days away we are, but it's September, October, less than 4 months away. It sucks because I'm not going to be in the country during the release, so I'm not going to be able to see the opening night, so that I hate that, but super excited about this. The trailer dropped last night. We were really excited and waiting for it. They had a leak that came over the weekend. I didn't watch it because if it ain't 4K, it ain't okay. If it's not 4K, it's not for me. Like, I don't want like stuff that I appreciate like that. Like, I love Spider-Man, right? Like, you gotta know your boy loves Spider-Man, right? So like, I am not finna, I'm watching this in high def. Like, it's gonna be crystal clear. And it dropped, and it was amazing. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. The trailer is on YouTube. Super excited. I'm a little confused because I after being so invested in Loki and the variants and the He Who Remains, I don't want it to where Peter Parker talks his way into a multiverse, which will still be kind of cool, but like, if it's tied into, it has to be tied into Loki for it to fuck with me, for me to like it. It has to tie in to Sylvie killing He Who Remains. Spoiler alerts if you haven't seen Loki. It's been out for a hell of a long time. It's your fault at this point. and creating the multiverse, and then that happens at the same time, like it was meant to be. That would be some cool shit. But if it's just like, oh, I'm trying to cast a spell, and that's when the multiverse cracked. So I would love for it not to have anything to do with that moment, because it's kind of unfair to Peter Parker for it to whatever. But this is only theories based off of the trailer, so you're not, I have no true idea. Super excited about it. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. So there was a thing, moving on, because that's not really nothing that we can really talk about. Just go see the trailer. I'm a nerd. I'm going to tell you about shit I like, and that's the shit I like. There's a thing that was trending called Twitch Do Better, and everyone knows I stream Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 in the morning, and with some more times in between. And I love streaming. It's not like my passion in life. I grow at a steady rate. It's I'm a small time guy on that regards, but it's fun. And I have experienced what this Twitch Do Better hashtag was talking about, but not on this level. Obviously, me being a small-time streamer. Basically, what's happening is if you're a black streamer, these hate raids come into your chat, and they spam you with racist remarks. And some of the messages read, the channel now belongs to the KKK, or they'll just repeatedly call you the N-word. And it's happening to a lot of streamers, whether they have huge followings or not. And it's really gross and really ugly. And of course, Twitch, when Twitch talks, it's cringe. They are one of the worst companies when it comes to supporting their content creators. They were saying like, we'll address it, blah blah blah. But they really don't ever do anything, and they don't block people like they should. They allow kind of this to happen. I guess it's uncontrollable. We've had to test for years still for the pros. I think. Yeah, just a lot of people are complaining. Could you? I mean, I've had people say weird things to me, and I've been lucky enough to have a couple of my admins in the stream every time it's happened, or one admin, or I just been lucky, right? Because it really only happens for me like when when I'm streaming at nighttime, and if there's a lot of people in the stream, that's when more people are more attracted to your stream, and that's when people will come in and say something off. People do it all the time. I haven't really gotten super racist or whatever. Just kind of just tasteful things. But as far as companies is concerned, just kind of even picking back in the OnlyFans conversation, these companies who aren't doing well by their content creators, their days are kind of numbered, because there's going to be a company that will do better. And it could take a while, but it's going to happen eventually. And then with these hate raids, which I just don't understand the concept of like attacking black creators or black content creators or black streamers. Like, what is the purpose of that? Like, what do you get out of that? Like, it's kind of pathetic. It's very sad. So if you get a chance, look up the hashtag Twitch Do Better. Let me know what you think. Obviously, it's something that Twitch needs to handle, but they never handle anything. That's the problem, and that's really the problem. So you have companies who make so much money off of people. I mean, Twitch takes 50%. So like Twitch is on it, like they getting their money, and they're not really like they do that Black History Month shit where they kind of like showcase some black creators, which is fine, I guess, but like come like I don't know, if you fuck with us like that, come to our defense when people using your platform to terrorize, antagonize, sometimes dox people. It's fucked up. Moving on. Next topic is New York City apartments. Now, I grew up in North Jersey, so I know what substandard living is like. And I feel like with the New York City apartments, you guys are just paying for $1 slices of pizza or whatever, or like you paying just to say you live in New York City. Like, it looks miserable. These places so I've been addicted. Let me just preface this. I've been addicted to Cash Jordan videos. He's a real estate agent from New York City, but he vlogs, he YouTubes all the apartments he looks at. A lot of apartments, all over price ranges too, like up like nice places or like $1 million places, but actually more so just the average Joe can afford. But the thing is, most people can't afford it. You have to have like 4 roommates. It's so weird. New York City is so weird. I remember like my dad used to live in New York City. He had roommates, which is cool because that place was fucking dope. So I get it. It's dope. But like at the end of the day, I seen some substandard shit. Like some places you have bugs and that's okay. People like, oh, that's cool. Rats and shit, like that's cool. They fucking small. Like, you have a queen size bed is the biggest size you can fucking go. Motherfuckers got full size beds and sharing rooms. Fucking small ass kitchens and shit. And I just, as a person who now lives in St. Louis, I just don't understand it. Like, I understand New York City is awesome. I fucking love New York City, except for the prices of getting a drink. It's like insane. And don't smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke cigarettes, but that shit was insane when I went there. And one of my homies was smoking cigarettes, and he told me the price. That shit was crazy. But like, y'all be living substandard as fuck though. Like, let's be honest. It's all good though. I enjoy it. Like, I'm not gonna come visit nobody. I'll go get in the hotel, but them shits be small, and I don't know how people live in it, and like the layouts be weird in some buildings. But shout out to Cash Jordan for his awesome videos. I think everyone should visit New York City. They say that, okay, so one of the sayings is you should live in New York City, but leave before you get mean, and you should live in Los Angeles or California, but leave before you get too nice. So, I get the allure of New York City for sure, but like, I don't know. I don't think the pros outweigh the cons with that living situation. Let me know if you guys have them spaces. Unless you ballin'. If you ballin', you've got millions, you good, right? Like, you got millions, you good. But like, why would you live in a studio apartment for $5,000 or for $3,000 or $2,000? $2,000 for a studio apartment is way too high, bro. I'm sorry. For 500 square feet, it's way too high. You're playing yourself. But hey, go get that dollar slice of pizza. It's the best pizza in the world, I guess. All right, next topic: arguing with randoms. So I don't know where I heard this from, but it's one of my life hacks. One of my life hacks is do not argue with people who don't know your last name or your middle name. And it's something that I haven't always done. Obviously, I've been a very volatile person on social medias, arguing with people in news comments. I do that all the time. But lately, I've been trying to implement that if I don't know you, like I don't know you, I'm not gonna argue with you. So I made the status yesterday about the COVID vaccines. I think I mentioned it earlier about like how before it was FDA approved, you was like, it's not FDA approved, I can't fuck with it, and then now that it's approved, y'all, don't trust the FDA. And someone came at me, and I was like, I said sorry, so I don't argue with people I don't know. And that was end of it. I'm not here for debate. I'm not, and it's to protect your mental sanity, right? Because these people online, especially, they're in it to fuck with you. They're in it to hurt your feelings. They're in it because they had a bad day, or their wife gave them shit, or their husband gave them shit, or their kids are acting like pieces of shit. So they're already having bad days, and they want to take it out on somebody. So like, they want to go online and be anonymous and take it out on you, but I don't let it. Like, I'm not gonna let it phase me. I'm not gonna let it deter my day. Like, if I don't know you personally, you don't know my middle name, we can't argue. Simple as that. And I think that's the attitude that if you want to remain sane on social media, you have to adopt that attitude. Even on Twitter, people come for me at Twitter all the time. Like, I ain't got time for it. I ain't got the energy for it. Like, if it's a good conversation, I'll debate. Like, last week I was talking about what was I talking about? It was some sympathy versus empathy. Talked about how I had a long Facebook conversation with my homie Rodney. I know Rodney. That's my guy. I didn't. That bar's from his house. You know what I'm saying? I have a bar over here. I picked it up from his house. That's my guy. And I'll debate with him, but I'm not arguing with somebody I don't know. Like, I'm not even gonna debate with somebody I don't know. I don't owe you that. I don't owe you that. And like, no one is going to be like, oh man, you're right, let me change my mind. No one's going to do that. So like, what's the point? Like, what's the point of engaging in an argument with someone if they're not willing to even see your side? And if I don't know you, you're not going to understand where I'm coming from anyway. So like, there's no point. So that's my rule. Don't argue with people that you don't know. Don't argue with randoms. I'm not going to ever let anything get heated. We can have a conversation, but a very minimal one. Like, I don't know you, don't talk to me. Like, online, and my homie was talking about this next subject, which I'm gonna get into in a second, and someone he knows got in his feelings, and they went at it, and he was like, the dude was like, I didn't ask for your opinion. He was like, you posted online, that means you asked for my opinion. That's not how that works. I'm giving you my thoughts. You can ingest it, you can disregard it, but that is not open in conversation for us to argue. Does not at all. I'm not asking you to. Like, you can comment, And I would talk that way, but like if it really reaches escalation and it's an argument, we're not finna do that. And what he was talking about is my next subject. Boosie was on the Breakfast Club. And the thing about Boosie is a rapper from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. He's a little bit older. He was popping in the 2000s. Horrible take on homosexuality. He shuns them. He wants to fight Lil Nas X. All this shit. We've talked about Boosie before. And upon watching the whole interview yesterday, I've decided that in my mind, his name is not Boosie Badass anymore. It's Boosie the Bigot. And the amount of people who think ignorantly is one thing, but the people who champion him as a pioneer, or I'm not seeing these statements where they're like, oh, he's so brave and he's saying things that we want to say. I mean, it gives me real heavy racist vibes here, like super heavy, like pure ignorant, hateful vibes. And the thing is that breaks my heart is like he's saying like, oh, I have people who are on my team who are homosexual. And like I don't think he understands the damage he's doing by like spewing his hate. And this hate, right? Like he's literally said on the Breakfast Club that if his daughter came up as lesbian, that he wouldn't go to her wedding if she wanted to marry a woman. Like he wouldn't support it, so he's not going to the wedding. And like he's saying like, oh, as a parent I have the right to mold and guide my children's life. No, you don't. You have your right to set your children up for success, but you do not have a right to guide their life. And that is a huge problem for me, even as far as parenting goes. But as far as like kids being able to live their best life, like live the life they choose, the mindset is so bad. And the gay agenda, which we've also talked about on the podcast, like I hate that shit. Like I'll argue with someone on that because like there's no reason, there's no logic behind hating anyone for the choices that they make and the life they live, especially if it has nothing to do with you. And I promise you, 9.9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with you. Simple as that. So I don't get how people feel like he's a hero, he's a champion. He's a piece of shit. And even the baby doubled down in his comments, calling people crybabies. Like you keep that same energy when fucking what's that girl's name? Any one of the people who get famous off of being racist to black people, keep that same energy, right? But my energy is fuck you, fuck them too, and that's as simple as that. So those are just my takes of things that I've noticed over this past week since the last episode. Thank you for listening to Rent Free with Tech Supreme. If you are on YouTube, hit that like button. That helps the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button, and so you can always stay updated. Check out the other videos on YouTube. If you're on TikTok, thank you for the love, for the comments, for the follows. I appreciate the interactions. If you're listening to this podcast on your favorite streaming sites, leave a review for your boy. It definitely helps out as far as getting it ranked and other things of all algorithms. I don't like algorithms, but if you're on anything online and you do anything with social media, you do anything with creativity, it's inevitable that you have to find a way to navigate through algorithms. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. But thank you for listening to Rent Free with Tech Supreme. I'll see you guys next time. Be safe, be kind, and love everyone. Peace.
Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.